And welcome to another episode of Tom's Take Plus One here on the Crawford Podcasting Network, where I'm honored, privileged, and thrilled to have my fraternity brother from Beta Theta Pi, University of Michigan, Dr. Kevin Beyer, who 2 days ago, following 35 years of service as a gastroenterologist, he retired from that incredible practice. He's out at Gull Lake at the Beyer abode, I call it. And KB, you're on what, day 2 of retirement? How's
Yes,
that
sir.
going?
First, it's awesome. Awesome. Nothing to do and all day to do it for a while.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, just gonna embrace it.
Oh my God. Well, I'm telling you what, what I have been so impressed by you and what you've done throughout your career and back to our beta days. I knew that was your goal. I remember, those MCATs, you remember, you didn't you have to take those,
Oh,
stuff like that?
you never forget that.
Studying for that, I remember all the stress that you went for that. And I remember little things like that where I'm just hanging out, going down to the V Bell drinking beer, and you're back there in the undergrad library, whatever, the ugly studying. But so
Part of the process.
So I guess I'm going to throw a question to you, KB, and we're going to touch on your career. And you're probably going to get this question at your retirement party this Saturday, which unfortunately I'm going to miss. Is this: how many ballpark figure do you figure you've colonoscopies you perform in your career?
Probably almost 40,000.
40,000? Are you crazy?
No,
40,000. Unbelievable. Don't worry about that. See, all your people are calling you to wish you good
there you go.
retirements. So 40,000, like in football, basketball, whatever, you improve from day 1 to day 2. Did you improve your that practice from number 1 to number 40,000? How did that work?
Of course, yeah. The first probably 100 is when I was in my training. So the first couple hundred, you're supervised completely. So it takes quite a few
Yeah.
to get a good skill level and competency. So that's why you do the fellowship, the training. You have somebody tutor with you.
So that's what a fellowship means,
That's right.
basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when you learn to
Okay.
do the procedures.
Yeah, and we're scrolling some of your background throughout our podcast here, KB. So, um, When okay, so you were a three-sport athlete at Hastings High School: golf, basketball, baseball. So when did you decide, no, I'm not going to be in the NBA. No, I'm not going to be in the Major League Baseball League. No, I'm not going to be in the Pro Tour. When did that default from, no, that's not going to work, to I'm going to be a doctor?
Yeah, that came pretty early.
Did it?
At 5'9" and some limited skills, I knew that wasn't my career path. So I was enamored with some of our local doctors in Hastings, and just thought it was a really genuine career, and wanted to pursue it. Started in high school. That was my goal, and obviously all through University of Michigan and pre-med.
Okay. Okay. So when did it come from, I'm going to be a doctor, to being a gastroenterologist? I mean, is that something that kind of morphs as you go through your training, and or how did that? When did you identify that?
Yeah, that did. Um, all through medical school, I thought I would be a general surgeon. It was just one of the things that I was interested in. And then when I did more rotations and training through medical school, and then early in my internship, I realized that the part of the general surgery I liked was the gastrointestinal tract. So I kind of morphed away from surgery and more into internal medicine, which leads into a gastroenterology specialty.
Wow, wow. And KB, what I like about your practice, and and we I think we did a video in March a couple years ago. It was kind of Colon Cancer Awareness Month or something along those lines, and we did it over in the media center. And that was a great message that you sent to people. I mean, you're in the preventative mode of medicine. You're trying to diagnose and prevent so bad things don't happen. I mean, is that a pretty fair definition of what you do?
That explains it. It's prevention, and that's when we did the colon cancer awareness. We talked about how many famous people had passed away from colon cancer. It's preventable, and that's the
Yeah,
whole take-home message: is you have to get in and get the testing done. That's what the value of a colonoscopy. It's what I've done for my whole career. Is
yeah,
and one of the main things is prevent colon cancer. It's one of the most rewarding things that I could ever accomplish.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like you're saving lives by prevention, as opposed to trying to, fix things later on. But and then and then there's other aspects of your job that you have. People have mishaps, whatever. But do you think now what you're going to go on? You have a professional organization and your field that you're president of. In fact, underneath this post on Facebook, you see the gathering of your family, your proud family, when you were elected the president, and you're going to serve that in retirement. Can you talk about that organization, what they do, and what your role is going to be, KB?
Yeah, it's called the Michigan Osteopathic Association, and it's a statewide group of osteopathic physicians are all part of it. And my role is in the leadership on the board of trustees. I'm now the president that just oversees the overall healthcare regarding osteopathic physicians and overall for healthcare and patients in the state of Michigan. So we're involved in policy and issues and things that happen within the medical community, and just try to influence and impact decision making to keep our robust healthcare.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. You know what? When you told me you were doing that, I thought because I've been around a lot of retirees, and when they go, it just all of a sudden stops, and I'm retired. I can do what I want to do, as we were talking about earlier. But there is kind of a mental and emotional off ramp you need to go down. All of a sudden you don't have that role. I think this is going to be the ideal transition for you to stay involved, don't you?
And you got it exactly right. It's like an off ramp. It still gives me something to keep my mind moving, and so a few things on the schedule, and it's something that's still worthwhile. And it's actually a good time for me to take on this role, because I don't have a huge an entire medical practice to have to manage anymore. I can focus more on what I need to do throughout the state medical association.
Well, I just think that's great, and you're going to be such a huge asset to that. But you are going to enjoy that incredible setting you have there on the east side of Gold Lake, I think, and spend more time there. Because I know you, KB. I've known you for, man, we're going close to 50 years hanging in there. You like hanging at Go Lake? I mean, you could travel and do all that stuff with Mary, and I know you do that, but you're kind of like me. You're a homebody, and I wouldn't mind being a homebody with you, my friend, out there on Go Lake.
I hope to get you over here. We're going to
Oh,
enjoy
oh,
Gull Lake obviously through the rest of the summer, and that gets us into football season.
oh
You know,
yeah,
you know where we'll be in the fall.
yeah. That's where indeed we're going to be in the fall, and I know you're passionate as I am about the University of Michigan. You're a proud University of Michigan alumnus, and from football season, the tailgates, on your spot right there in front of the tunnel, and then pregame, postgame, and then probably even more fun for us, for me at least, it is the Beyer Beta Suites at Chrysler. That becomes a gathering point, particularly at halftime. That people come and see you, and we've had former players come by, and man, that's a lot of fun, KB. I so appreciate me being involved. I can sit up there in the media level, but I'd rather sit down in KB suite.
That's it's a something that you're going to cherish forever, and I look forward to it. And it gets bigger and bigger every year as more people know where we're at and recognize us. And you're the focus of most of them. It's just great. Well, just to see the camaraderie. That's what it's all about. It's just rejoining.
Yeah. It's funny, and I challenge other people, because when you get out of college, I mean, you're going all over. You're in Missouri, and you're in Jacksonville. I mean, you're all Iowa. You're all over as is our other fraternity brothers, and you have this disconnect. And now all of a sudden, I think what's happened, as particularly a lot of guys are retiring and having more time, it's like we're reconnecting. It's almost like we're going through the whole process of reconnecting as fraternity brothers, I think, in the last few years. And what has really surprised me more than anything, KB, we still finish each other's sentences. I mean, we recall those moments. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the fun part of it, is reliving what we did before, and remembering it, and talking to each other. But the reconnection means that initial connection was really something.
Yeah,
We
I
really
think
had
that
something
is,
we didn't.
and I think people. I mean, I just had my high school reunion. I assume you have one coming up here, your 50th for the
This
Hastings
fall,
Saxons.
right?
I'm assuming. Um, so when you reconnect, it's so cool because it's like when you saw each other back in the high school days or college days. We weren't as mature, right? And when you get old, everybody's nice to everybody.
That's absolutely. But those were the connections. We didn't probably realize what we really had back then, but it was very important. We built on it. It sustained 4 or 5 decades of
Yeah,
friendship.
I remember talking to one of our fraternity brothers, Perry Morrow. I mean, this is years ago, and I said, we're at the Beta House, and everybody says, oh, I mean, we didn't know how good we had it back then. So much fun. You have 45, 50 guys. I mean, I know we had to study and all that stuff, but I mean, there was not a lot of responsibility in regard, in a lot of regards. But it's like, and I said to myself, I just don't know how good I had it. And Perry goes, I knew how good I had it. I mean, it
Wow.
was just a sincere response, and so I guess I challenge young people to embrace those moments and just don't try to go fast forward down the road, to get to the next level, to get in the next niche in your career and things like that. Wouldn't you agree with that, KB?
Yeah, we're all in a hurry to get there, and
Yeah.
but you got to take time, and or to smell the roses, whatever they said. It's hard to do in the moment, and we all
It,
been there.
yeah, it is
So
hard
much,
to do in the
so much
moment, but
pressure.
I really think it's so important. So, besides your involvement in the organization in your trade association for your field in the medical field, what are the things you want to enjoy or still accomplish moving forward in retirement?
Well, obviously, the first year I need to complete my presidency for my state medical
Right.
association. After that, it's I don't have any definite plans. I'm going to spend more time with my young grandchildren.
Yes. You have four of them now, right?
Three,
Three.
three, three.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Yeah.
certainly still be involved with Michigan athletics, and as
Yes.
much as I have been, or even maybe potentially more. And then Mary and I will do some travel, and I'll relax on the Gull Lake with some time in the lake, be on the boat,
Yes.
a little fishing,
Yes.
and a little golf here and there. So
Oh
no
yeah.
no major plans, but I think that should be enough to keep me busy, at least for a while.
So when we go down to the tailgate, and over at the Beyer Beta Suite of basketball, I've always been, impressed by the fact. I mean, what's going on with Michigan athletics. I mean, for me, I'm just immersed in it, but in my media role, but it's like you keep up. I mean, all this. I see. I'm like, wow, how does KB have time to do that? All your demands. But I'm expecting it to go to even higher level in your retirement. So when we go down there and with Ron and Woody, everybody down there, and Ollie, we're going to really chatting up some heavy content about Michigan football and Michigan basketball.
I'll be prepared.
Yeah, I'll
You
bet you
set
are.
the bar high, but I'll be prepared.
Okay, so A couple last questions. Let's keep speaking of Michigan football, Michigan basketball. What's your expectation this year? What would make you satisfied? What would make you happy?
Well, for football,
Yeah,
um,
start football.
yeah, I'm hoping. I always hope for a Big Ten championship. I always start with that. That's the foundation. You build from that.
Yes, right there.
You got to focus on that. The rest of the accolades come later if you can get there. I don't know the record 10-2 would be probably really good. 11-1 is always awesome. I don't know where they're going to stumble, but I'm sure they have a challenging schedule, at least in football. Basketball, I'm really high on that
Oh
team
my God.
with the injection of energy and leadership Dusty May's given us. It's just been amazing. Last year was obviously awesome with how he managed the transfer players. This
Yeah.
year, he's even got even as good or better guys coming in. Different. He doesn't have the two 7-foot guys to put out there all the time, but I think he's got a little bit more athletic team, maybe better shooters. So, and it's going to be, it comes down to point guard, obviously, all the time. We get a new point guard every year. That's just the challenge, I think, of the leadership on the team. And, but they still have a couple of, I think Cheddar's coming back, some senior, super senior leadership, which makes a difference when you see the teams that do well in the NCAA tournament. Majority of them have some older players that are their leaders.
See, I think you could get as a secondary career or side hustle. I think you could get into sports commentating, KB. That you delivered it strong right there. I'm impressed. Very good.
I'm available. I got a resume.
4 and 4 on that basketball team. 4 freshmen, 4 transfers, 4 returning players.
Yep.
That's a solid 12. Okay,
and a good coach. I mean, a great
hell of a good coach, and Michigan football is going to have a compelling year as well. I think the O-line is going to be a determining factor. Okay, I want you to, as we wrap this up, KB, talking with Kevin Beyer, retired gastroenterologist. It took me about 6 months to be able to pronounce that, but I finally got it down.
Spelling
and now it just rolls off my tongue. But as you know, people can realize following my cancer surgery, I'm still waiting for these teeth to be replaced in a couple months. So I kind of talk like Elmer Fudd, but I can still say gastroenterologist.
You're great, Tommy. You're great, Tom.
All right.
You're doing so good.
I want a message. It doesn't, to the young people out there, what's that, Generation Z or whatever, college kids, early 20s. I want a message from you to them, how to approach their personal life and balance that with their drive to develop their career path. What can you take from what you went through to tell them the best way to navigate that journey?
Sure thing. I can remember when I was quite young, my dad was a huge impact in my life, and he kind of stressed 3 things early on, and it was hard work, determination, perseverance.
Yeah,
Kev, you got to have those to take you where you want to go. After that, you obviously we learn how to do multitasking, time management, interpersonal skills. Everything else comes, but you build from that. Hard work, determination, perseverance. Don't fail very often, and that would be my message. Don't take the easy way out anyway. As in the younger crowd, it's going to be you're going to achieve stuff by hard work.
Were there moments in your career like, I can't do this, I can't do that, and where you had to hit the resilience button to get through that? Did you have those, KB, or did you?
Absolutely. That's where the determination and perseverance comes in. You just gotta that's the toughness factor. If you really want it, you're going to do it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's
All right.
inspiring. So another side hustle for you, you could be a motivational speaker, Dr. Kevin
Again, right after Tom Crawford.
Beyer. Okay, KB, I really appreciate you coming on Tom's Take Plus One. I love you, man. You know that. And we're going to have some fun moving forward. And I also want to thank you, as well as all my other Beta Theta Pi fraternity brothers. But you being in the medical field, you've given me a perspective as I'm battling this cancer, two versions of cancer, and some of the text messages that you sent me have been amazing and watery eyed motivational. So I want to thank you for that, my friend.
You're welcome, Tom. You mean so much to all of us.
Okay, I appreciate that. So we'll have fun in retirement. You'll hear from me. You'll see me soon, hopefully sooner, hopefully before even August 30th. Down when the Lobos come to town, they come to the big house to take on the Michigan Wolverines. But have a great time on Saturday for your big party. I'm sure it's going to be exhausting, but I'm sure you're just going to embrace and enjoy every freaking minute of it, KB.
Gonna have a good time.
All right. Okay, another version. Tom's Take Plus One here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. Until next time.